Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. We take your sources, break them down, find the gold, and today we're looking at something really quite clever, I think. It's from Eng's Notes on Gardening, Part 586. Came out just a few days ago, July 6, 2025.
Yeah.
It's about gardening, yeah, but with a twist. You know how seedlings can get, well, stuck, root-bound, unhappy in those standard little trays. Happens all the time. So Ang, who's always finding new uses for old things in the garden, seems to have stumbled onto or maybe engineered a solution. Our mission, really, is to figure out how Ang turned an everyday thing, those rectangular, long, kind of shallow ice cream tubes, how those could become maybe better seedling planters. And what that tells us, it's all about that inventive spirit, isn't it? Repurposing.
It really is. And Aang has form here, right? Thinking back to using, what was it, ice cube trays,
Hmm.
plastic cups, simple
Yeah.
stuff for seedlings.
Yeah, exactly. Simple repurposing.
But this feels a bit different. What's interesting in this source, this deep dive, is how Aang seems to have moved past just finding any container. It's more engineered.
Engineered. How so?
Well, Aang observed something specific about the fancy seedling trays, the expensive ones. They often have better drainage, not just holes in the bottom, but crucially, drainage features along the sides, vertical ones.
Along the sides. Why there?
It's not just about letting water out, it's about air. Oxygen exchange for the roots. That's key to stopping things like root rot, getting those plants off to a stronger start, bushier growth up top later.
Ah, okay. So it's trying to copy that premium design feature.
Pretty much.
But how does that lead to ice cream tubes? They seem so
Yeah.
random. What's the connection? Was there like an aha moment described?
Well, the source suggests it was the shape, those specific dimensions. Think about it. A typical plastic cup is quite wide, right?
Yeah.
These ice cream tubes are slimmer, longer. Aang figured that if you add drainage holes at the bottom and vertical drainage lines, grooves maybe, down the sides,
Right.
then that narrow, long shape mimics the aeration benefits Aang saw in those high-end trays almost perfectly.
So it's a combination of shape and the added drainage mimicking the expensive stuff.
Exactly. It's about engineering that little environment below the soil for the roots, not just giving them generic space.
Right, right. And Aang goes further, doesn't just stop at the container itself. It connects to how you water in the soil, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole system. Aang talks about using minimal soil volume, which is interesting, and watering from the bottom.
Bottom watering, okay.
And crucially, letting the soil dry out completely between waterings.
Really let it dry. Doesn't that stress the plant?
You'd think so, but Aang argues it encourages the plant to develop a really strong, deep root system. The roots have to actively seek the moisture deeper down.
Ah, okay. Pushing downwards.
And that behavior, that deep seeking, fits perfectly with the long, narrow shape of those modified ice cream tubes.
So the pot shape encourages the desired root growth, and the watering method reinforces it. It all links up.
It does. And what's really insightful, I think, is that Aang is basically designing a container optimized for a specific kind of root growth, deep roots.
Okay.
Which then leads to the next question Aang poses. If you design a pot specifically for deep roots, what plants actually want that? Which ones will thrive?
Right. Not all plants are the same down there.
Exactly. So Aang is planning to identify species that would benefit most. Things typically with taproot systems.
Like carrots, radishes.
Precisely. Or maybe certain flowers with long roots, plants that naturally send one main root way down. This custom planter lets those specific plants really play to their strengths.
That's fascinating. There's like solution-led design. You have this clever container, this solution, and then you find the perfect problem for it to solve.
It is. It's a really great example of that. Design-led problem solving.
It flips the usual script, doesn't it? Usually it's, I have this plant, what pot does it need?
Yeah.
Aang is asking, I have this pot, which plant needs it?
Yeah.
It's like inventing, I don't know, a new material and then discovering all the amazing things you can make with it.
Yeah.
It just shows how really looking closely at how something works, like root growth, can spark these totally unexpected but really effective design ideas. So wrapping this up then, what's the core takeaway here? For me, this deep dive really shows this blend of creative reuse, sharp observation, and actually understanding the science, the plant biology, putting it all together to fix a real nagging gardening issue. Aang didn't just grab any old tub. They saw a specific design principle and found an ingenious, everyday way to replicate it, unlocking potential for stronger, deeper roots.
Yeah, it's very neat. And this raises an important question for you, the listener, really. How could you maybe apply this kind of thinking, this sort of design-led, maybe even solution looking for a problem approach in your own life? Or with challenges you face? Think about it. How could really observing the specific needs of any system, like Aang did with roots, lead you to some unexpected solutions? What other everyday items are just sitting there, with hidden potential, just waiting for the right problem to come along so they can shine? Something to think about.